Friday the 13th, Part 3. It returns viewers to the infamous Camp Crystal Lake for another round of terror and bloodshed. And also just a bunch of horny teens. In this installment in the iconic slasher franchise, it continues the legacy of Jason Voorhees as he stalks a new group of unsuspecting victims. But this time, he's got a hockey mask. For the first time. I know it's a bit weird because Jason is known for his mask, but I'll explain it later. Let's get into the video. So, set immediately after the events of the last film, I'm not joking, it literally happens immediately. This movie follows a group of friends who travel to a lakeside cabin near Crystal Lake for a weekend. Unbeknownst to them, the relentless killer Jason Voorhees has survived his previous encounter and is lurking in the shadows, ready to unleash his reign of terror once again. And as the body count rises and carnage mounts, the survivors must fight for their lives and try and figure out why they even came here and why Jason chose them. Not actually, but I'm sure that's what they were thinking. Why us? Why couldn't he just kill our friends who came here instead of us? Joke's on you, your friends are dead, mate. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so this movie is very gory. The ending of this was so good. And yeah, it's a thrilling entry in the slasher franchise that delivers all suspense and scares that you will expect from a Friday the 13th movie. And the director expertly ramps up the tension and ramps up the body count, and he delivers a really good just onslaught of gore and violence that'll definitely leave you on the edge of vomiting and on the edge of your seat, somewhere in between the two. Like when I'm watching Terrifier, I'm in between the two. I've got a bag for vomiting over here, got a bowl of popcorn over here, trying to pick between the two each second. Well, actually. And yeah, it's quite a weird movie. From the atmospheric setting of Crystal Lake to the really cool kills, every aspect of the movie is really designed to keep you just glued to the screen, like I am. By the way, I had to review a very bad movie earlier. Well, not review, I had to watch a very bad movie earlier. Review will come out soon, but I'm not saying what yet. And yeah, at the heart of the film is definitely the killer Jason Voorhees. He's iconic, he's Jason. He's actually parodied in every adult animated cartoon, in every piece of media that came out recently. There's a Jason copy, there's a Scream copy, there's a Michael copy, but it's all really just the same. A mask, a killer. I watched this film called Camp Pleasant Lake the other day. It was actually really good, but I've got a review coming out at some point. But I thought it would be a Friday the 13th knockoff. Surprisingly, wasn't. Surprisingly, it was actually pretty cool. But yeah, this one is actually really cool. He gets his mask in it, and his machete is back once again from the last one. And he definitely cuts a terrifying figure as he stalks his victims through the dark and foreboding woods of Crystal Lake. This ain't really lake. This is more woods. And wood. And more woods. And a bit more. And a little bit of lake. The ensemble cast, they're pretty good. I mean, Chris Higgins is in this movie, and her actress gives a pretty good performance, and it brings depth and humanity to the character. And it's really cool seeing just the emotional turmoil that these characters go through, where 1 minute, you're all horny, getting it on with your boyfriend. Next minute, you're running for your life from an infamous, crazy, psychopathic murderer, who's also a zombie. That's fun. And yeah, I mean, the film's greatest strength is definitely the use of 3D technology. Though it can get a bit weird if you didn't watch it in 3D. I broke my 3D glasses about a year ago. Those were the ones which I wore for that Sharkboy and Lava Girl review I did about 2 years ago now. Oh, that was so cringy. But, yeah. The things you do, man. Yeah, it was just very weird, and like, this does feature several memorable 3D sequences that add a layer of excitement to the film. You know, it's got a good chase scene, a good showdown, good few kills. I mean, it's definitely pretty dated for 3D effects, but by like how it was made and the time when it came out, I think this is pretty good for 3D effects. You know, it's not Avatar levels, but you know, not every movie can be naked blue alien people on screen in 3D where you're like watching it and you're like, Jesus Christ. Is this supposed to be in cinemas or should it be somewhere else? And yeah, I mean, this movie's definitely bloody and entertaining. It's great. I love just putting on this movie every now and then and just being like, oh yeah. Just the ending of this movie is so fun and campy and just silly. And also kind of serious at the same time. It's getting into that later Jason vibe without properly getting into the later Jason vibe. And that's what I like. It's not like, we're gonna shove him in space. It's more like, we're gonna bring in some stuff which we haven't done before, like helicopters and stuff. That cost a lot of money. That's where most of the budget went, into the last, like, 5 minutes of the movie. But yeah, ultimately, as I said, this movie is a bloody and entertaining entry in the iconic slasher franchise. It delivers the chills, the thrills, all in equal measure. I don't have a tape measure to measure the chills and thrills, of course, but I think they're about equal. And with its great killer, iconic kill, and a really good use of 3D technology for the time, I think this film is definitely going to be one of my favourites of the franchise once I've finished reviewing them all. Just because of how fun and just interesting I think it is. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. What do you guys think of Friday the 13th Part 3? I was about to say 2 there for some reason. Let me know in the comments below. If you have seen this movie, if you haven't, go watch it. It's a hell of a time. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, each movie so far definitely just going up and up in quality. I'm kind of scared for what's going to happen at some point in the franchise, because I have seen these movies before, but we're not getting there yet. I can breathe until I have to see weird slug Jason on screen again. Those were sad times when I had to sit through Jason Goes to Hell again. Every time I have to watch that movie, it gets me so bored, especially when like he's just a slug at the end of the movie. He's an actual slug. I'm not joking. But yeah, as I said, thank you for watching this video. Until next time, subscribe, like the video. Bye bye.